There's a 200-minute wait at Velocicoaster right now, and that's not even the longest wait. Hey Mayhem fam, I'm at Universal Orlando and it is spring break, baby, but not the fun chilling on the beach MTV spring break kind. It's the theme park spring break kind, where there's a 210-minute wait at Harry Potter and the Escape from Gringotts right now. I am here to put Universal's Express Pass to the test. Universal's Express Pass is their skip the line service, but it'll cost you a lot. Is it worth it? How much time can you really save? How much can you actually get done during the busiest seasons of the year? Let's find out. To be honest, as a local, I try to avoid theme parks during the busiest times of year. Spring break, it's Florida spring break right now specifically. Easter, 4th of July, pretty much all summer. Great news, Gringotts has a 230-minute wait now. So here's how this video is gonna work. I'm gonna put 3 hours on the clock and see how many rides I can do within that time period. I will tell you the posted wait time at that attraction, and I will also clock how long my wait is in the Express Pass line. Because one question a lot of people have is, don't the Express Pass lines just get really long? So they may not necessarily be walk-ons, but I feel like they're gonna be significantly shorter than the standby line. And as we head to our first attractions, let's talk about what Express Pass is and who can get it and how you can get it for free $99. There are two different kinds of Universal Express Pass. There's Universal Express Pass and there's Universal Express Pass Unlimited. Universal Express allows you to skip the line at the participating attractions one time each. Universal Express Unlimited allows you to skip the line at the participating attractions as many times as you want for each ride. Now, the notable attractions not included in Express Pass, either kind, Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure TM, Pterodon Flyers. However, Velocicoaster used to not be included, and it now is part of Express Pass, which is awesome. Pretty much everything else you want to ride, Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey, Escape from Gringotts, Incredible Hulk Coaster, Rip Ride Rocket, Transformers, Skull Island, Jurassic Park River Adventure, E.T., pretty much anything else you want to ride is on Express Pass. Now Express Pass, the one where you can ride it one time each, starts at $89 and goes up to $350 per person per day. Universal Express Unlimited starts at $100 and goes up to $380 per person per day. And yes, that's on top of your park admission. The reason there's such a wide swing is because just like Genie Plus over at Disney, it's date-based. So the days that it's less expensive are the days it's less crowded. The busier the day is, the more expensive Express Pass is. If I were to have purchased Express Pass today, I looked it up, it would have been $350. But I have Express Pass for free. Well, kind of. The highest level annual pass includes free Express Pass after 4 p.m., which is the one I have since I come here quite frequently. The other way to get Express Pass for free, and this is like my number one tip for staying at Universal Orlando, is if you stay in one of their top tier hotels, it's included for every person in your hotel room every day of your trip. The 3 premier hotels that include Express Pass are the Hard Rock, Portofino Bay, and Royal Pacific. And these hotel rooms are not as expensive as you might think. Now, of course, staying at these hotels is expensive, especially comparatively speaking to the very, very decent rates that Universal has at their value resorts like Cabana Bay, their mid-tier resorts like Sapphire Falls. These are going to be more expensive, of course, but one, they're going to be significantly less than the cost of a Disney hotel during the same time of year. If you watched our Cabana Bay episode, we talked about how inexpensive it was to stay at Cabana Bay the week of Christmas compared to the equivalent, which would be Pop Century over at Disney. So Universal's hotels are significantly cheaper to begin with. Second of all, looking at New Year's Eve, one of the busiest nights of the year for theme park hotels, all 3 of those hotels are over $800 without any kind of discount from being a Florida resident, annual pass holder, or anything like that. And yes, $830 or $850 a night is expensive for a hotel room. But when you factor in the cost of Express Pass for the 4 people that can stay in that hotel room, knowing Express Pass at its peak, it's going to be $400 a person, you're actually saving quite a bit of money. So I understand it's all very expensive. It's more expensive to visit either theme park during the peak seasons, but you're gonna save yourself a bunch of time and ultimately money should you want to buy Express Pass anyway. And of course, if you don't come during peak season, you can get really great rates on the premier hotels here at Universal. I have stayed at all of them for about $300 or less a night. And these are, again, their top tier hotels. And you're still getting that Express Pass, including your check-in and your checkout day. So truly, if you're coming to Universal, it's one of the best things that you can do. You're gonna have to pay to stay somewhere. You might as well stay somewhere if you're able to. That's gonna give you this huge, massive perk. Even if you're doing a split stay where you're doing mostly Disney and just Universal for a day or two, I think it is well worth the the cost of moving to Universal for a night to get that Express Pass. But let's take that advice, put it to the test. We're starting at the Incredible Hulk. Currently, the Incredible Hulk has a 100-minute wait. That's an hour and 40-minute wait for the Incredible Hulk. It also has a 54.54-inch height requirement, hits top speeds of 67 miles an hour, has 7 different inversions, and the music was custom written by Patrick Stump from Fall Out Boy. This is an awesome coaster. As you can see, it's a fan favorite. And let's see how much time Express Pass saves me. Now, one thing unique about Universal is that you have to put your items in lockers at many of the attractions, and at some of the attractions, you are going through metal detectors, so you can't bring your phone or anything with you because of safety reasons. So I'm gonna have to put everything into this locker. I am going to check the time, and I'll let you know when I come back and see how long it takes. Incredible Hulk, check, done. When I got back to my phone, my timer said 13 minutes. 13 minutes and 3 seconds. I'm no mathematician, but 13 is certainly a lot less than 100. Plus, that 13 minutes also includes the time it took me to walk over to the queue through the crowd of people, unload off the attraction, walk back through the crowd of people, and wait for the family in front of me to take their sweet time to unload their locker. And also, riding the actual ride. So even if you take off a few minutes, I'm gonna say well under 10 minutes for that, and again, a posted 100-minute wait. Which actually, speaking of lockers, leads me to one of my favorite don't be a jerk in the park PSA moment. When you are doing the locker system here at Universal, do your best to only send one person into the locker area. These locker areas are very tight, and what I see happen over and over and over again is the whole group goes in there, and then 3 people just stand around, which means other people can't access their lockers, when you could just have one person go in, put the stuff up, and then one person retrieve it. Additionally, let's say you're putting a hat in there and sunglasses and whatever else it is, do you need to put that stuff back on in the locker area? Do you need to re-put on your jacket and zip it up and adjust your sunglasses and fix your hair while standing in the locker area? Or do you think you could do that outside the locker area so that other people could get their stuff? You know what I mean? Just, it's really busy right now. Just a general awareness of other folks around you sometimes is helpful. So that's my PSA, and now we're on to the next ride. And it's not just me who's saying that. Team members say it all the time. The team members that are stationed to the locker areas will kindly ask that parties only send 1, maybe 2 people in, depending on how many people are in there. So let's all make other guests, and most importantly, team members' lives easier, especially when it's this busy. Now, I'm obviously bypassing the water attractions, but as I head to my next ride, let's do a little wait time update. For reference, it is a Tuesday during spring break at a little after 5 o'clock. Currently, Dr. Doom's Fearfall has a 40-minute wait, Fast and Furious has a 60-minute wait, Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure TM has a 115-minute wait, Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey has a 90-minute wait, Rip Ride Rocket has a 180-minute wait, Men in Black Alien Attack, 65-minute wait, Mummy, 85, Hulk, 100, Simpsons, 65, Gringotts, 150, Skull Island Reign of Kong, 90, Jimmy Fallon, 65, Spider-Man, 50, Transformers, 65, Dudley Do-Rights, Ripsaw Falls, 50, Jurassic Park River Adventure, only 25, that's a steal. Popeye and Bluto's Build Barges, 40 minutes, 40 at ET, 85 at Despicable Me, 70, and 100 at the 2 different train stations. Could go on and on. Even Kang and Kudos, the twirly ride at Simpsons area, it's a 55-minute wait. The High in the Sky Susali train ride, 60-minute wait. And where we're headed next, a 180-minute wait. Of course, headed to Velocicoaster next, drop to a 120-minute wait, so we'll see how long that is with Express. I gotta say, one thing I genuinely love about Express Pass is the fact that it's so easy. You pay the fee, or you get it with your hotel or your annual pass, and then you just ride whatever you want. There's no selecting times, you don't have to do anything on your phone. You just show up at the rides and go through the special line, and you ride the rides, and you can do each ride as many times as you want if you get that unlimited. It is more expensive, but it's much easier to use. Additionally, Express Pass can sell out. They do cap how many Express Passes they sell every day, which means that they're guaranteeing that the Express Pass line is not going to be as long as the standby line because there is a limited capacity. Because of the ease of it, it tends to lead to a much simpler and enjoyable day wandering around the parks. Like, I'm moving at a very reasonable pace right now. I'm not racing around the parks. I'm going to go in order around the park of things that I want to do when I want to do them. It's more expensive, yes, but simple, also yes. So here we are at Velocicoaster, one of my favorite attractions ever. They just added this to Express Pass. It's got a 120-minute wait right now, like I said. It has a 51.51-inch height requirement. It is one of the best rides I've ever been on. It's one of my favorite rides of all time. And I'm also curious to see what we cut off in the queue of Express Pass. Starting our timer, now we are gonna have to put our stuff in a locker halfway through, but we'll get the clock going now. And like I said, I'm curious to see what it cuts off, because this is one of my favorite queues ever because of the amazing Raptors. And so I often say not to go single rider because you miss the Raptors in the queue. But what happens in Express Pass? Am I gonna miss the Raptors? Am I gonna miss the nods to Dr. Alan Grant and Ian Malcolm? Only time will tell. Bad news. There's been a brief technical delay. So that will impact the data, but that's impacting everyone, not just Express Pass, so it'll even out. Great news. After about, oh my God. Are you a teenager watching this? If you're a teenager, why do you airdrop adults random photos? Because I can only assume it's teenagers. I've had 15 airdrop requests from random people. Who is doing this? I don't want it. Anyway, according to my lap, I did a lap for the delay, and it was about 9 minutes. 9 minutes was that delay, but we are moving again. They just announced that things are moving again, so we're good to go. Don't worry, friends. We still get an up-close Raptor. Oh my God, I could feel her breath. Ooh, yay. Okay, so you do bypass the room that's got some of the Easter eggs in it, but you get your own Raptor. So that is a plus. Made it to the locker bay. Now, it's very important at Velocicoaster that you remember the color, the dinosaur, or the number of your section, because you're actually going to come out on the other side of the lockers. They're dual-sided to help with traffic flow. So in goes the phone, the camera, the microphone, the bag, the whole thing. This is another one going through metal detectors in a second. So I'll see you on the other side. Okay, there was actually another delay when I was on the ride. It was when I had just finished. It delayed again, so I kind of was sitting, not able to get off the ride for a few extra minutes. But even that, even counting that delay, the delay in the queue, the inevitable extra time it takes to recover from a delay, and riding the ride, it was 54 minutes. And now I realize 54 minutes is still not a short amount of time, but if you take out all that other stuff, it's probably closer to 40 minutes, and that's still significantly less, regardless, than the 120-minute posted wait. Velocicoaster does tend to sometimes have technical difficulties. I haven't noticed it quite as much as Rise of the Resistance or Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure TM, but there are times it gets delayed, and you can end up waiting a longer amount of time in the express queue as well as the standby queue, but I think we can all agree 54 minutes, not even taking out my ride time, is much less than 120 minutes. As a pro tip, if you see that an attraction is having a downtime or just came back up from a downtime, it's not the best time to get in line unless you can get in line very, very quickly, because a lot of people go jump in line and the operation's still a little backed up from the team members recovering the downtime. They have to let people that perhaps were stuck on the attraction ride again or compensate them in some way. So downtimes can increase not only how long you wait in line when it's down, but afterwards for a while as well. So if you see a ride's down, don't go to it for a little bit. Let it recover and get back to normal operation. Headed into one of my favorite parts of Universal, also typically one of the busiest parts of Universal. We're in the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, Hogsmeade. and you can see how congested it is in here. Now, like I said, unfortunately, Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure TM does not take Express Pass. They do have a single rider line, however, it often moves not much faster or just as long as the regular queue because of how the ride operates. So I don't necessarily recommend single rider there. If you want to avoid the line, it's pretty hard, but the best option is to stay at a Universal hotel, because another perk for anybody, any level of their hotels, is that you can get into one of the parks an hour early. And when Islands of Adventure is the park, it often includes Hagrid's being open an hour early. So get to the park early, even 30 plus minutes earlier than that posted early entry, and knock Hagrid's out first thing. If you truly want to understand how busy these parks are right now, this gentleman in the gray shirt and the hat is the end of the butterbeer line. See the butterbeer card all the way up there? Here's the end of the line. If you're coming during this time of year, absolutely try and eat early or late. Remember that the full service restaurants also serve all the different kinds of butterbeer. Hogsmeade serves butterbeer and usually there's a shorter line. But in my experience, if you want to eat in the Wizarding World of Harry Potter at either the Three Broomsticks on this side or the Leaky Cauldron on the other side, go for breakfast. Go right when they switch over to lunch, or go like mid-afternoon, go after the lunch rush and before the dinner rush. You'll still probably wait on a day like today, but it won't be near as long if you go at peak meal time. Truly though, y'all, I know this is when kids are out of school, but if you can come any other time than things like spring break, 4th of July, Christmas, just try. Next up, Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey. This is the attraction inside Hogwarts. It currently has a posted 77.0-minute wait. Now, this is another attraction that you do have to put things in a locker. However, you don't have to go through metal detectors, which means if you want to rock a cool fanny pack, that is allowed on the ride. It just has to fully zip. It cannot be a crossbody. It has to be a fanny pack like this, and you can take this on the attractions that don't have metal detectors. I love a fanny pack for not only the convenience and the fact that it forces me to pack light, but also it saves a lot of time at Universal, because the only attractions that require metal detectors are Incredible Hulk, Rip Ride Rocket, and Velocicoaster. So on everything else where people have to wait at the lockers to put things away, you can go on through. I've said it before and I'll say it again, this is not the best Harry Potter ride, but it's definitely the most Harry Potter ride, because you see so many things in the queue alone. You're gonna see Dumbledore's office, the Gryffindor Common Room, the Defense Against the Dark Arts, the Potions Dungeon, the Mirror of Erised, the Herbology plants. You're gonna see the talking portraits, and unfortunately, some of that does get cut off if you go into the express lane. So if you're could you guys be quiet? Honestly, Rowena Ravenclaw, very loud. So if you're a big Harry Potter fan, I do recommend when the line is shorter walking through the entire queue, because there's tons of Easter eggs and details. I've done videos about the secrets of the Wizarding World of Harry Potter with tons of cool stuff to look for. We'll link those for you. But you do merge in Dumbledore's office, so everybody will get to see him, as well as the Defense Against the Dark Arts classroom, and they have your own set of the talking portraits from the houses, and I'm still trying to make Hogwarts house founder selfies a thing. So take yours, tag me. Now, being very honest, this ride makes me incredibly nauseous, and even though I love that you get to see all sorts of things like the Chamber of Secrets and Quidditch and dragons and Hagrid, plus go into the Forbidden Forest and see Dementors and the Basilisk, it makes me really nauseous, so I'm going to get to the front of the line and ask to exit, which is also something I recommend doing if you're a diehard Harry Potter fan but you're afraid you're going to get nauseous. You're absolutely allowed to walk through the queue and check out all the Easter eggs and the details, and then just let them know at the front you want to exit. Highly recommend doing that. Don't skip out on the queue just because you're concerned about the ride. Even stopping to take a couple founder selfies with Salazar Slytherin. It only took 6 minutes, actually 5:59, to get to the front of the queue at Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey. So that was a great success. But for now, I'm gonna scoot over to the other park. I'm gonna take the train, clock that wait, and do a few things over there. Headed now to the Hogwarts Express. This is an attraction as well as a means of transportation in between the two parks, which means you do have to have a park-to-park ticket to ride it. It will take you from here, Islands of Adventure, the Hogsmeade side of Wizarding World of Harry Potter, to Diagon Alley, which is the Universal Studios Florida side of the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, and back again. But what's fun is it's two different experiences depending on which way you go. So what you see out the window of the train on the way here is different than on the way back. So for my Harry Potter fans especially, I recommend riding twice. Started the clock, it currently has a 45-minute wait. Now one thing I will say is that you can walk between the two parks much faster than the train queue and train experience most of the time. Walking really slow, it's like a 10-minute walk between the parks. I can make it much faster when I'm on my own and hustling. So unless you absolutely must ride the train, I personally wouldn't recommend waiting more than like 30 minutes for it. Just another reason Express Pass is awesome is because as a diehard Harry Potter fan, the train is great. I love the train. I think it is such a quintessential set piece for the story. So much happens on the train. Harry meets Hermione, Harry unfortunately meets Ron, they meet Lupin. So much happens. It's fun to feel like you're traveling to Hogwarts or back, and it's more fun to do that without waiting. It's been just under 7 minutes and the train has arrived. I'm gonna be in the next load, so this was a great use of an Express Pass. Even though it didn't have as long of a line as some of the other queues I've skipped, this attraction consistently has a very slow load and unload process. So like I said, I encourage people to skip it to save time, but I don't want you to skip it because it's awesome.
Wait, how about this one?
It's occupied, Harry.
Looks like a bunch of first years.
Let's keep looking.
It's truly such a lovely attraction, except for fake Hermione. Oh my gosh, it kills me. Honestly, Ron, they're just sweets. I could be a better voice actress for Emma Watson than what happened. But you know what? That's fine. That's fine. Anyway, we are now on the Universal Studios Florida side of things, where I'm gonna head into my favorite land in the entire universe, Diagon Alley. I actually haven't been here for a little bit, like at least a month because of travel and stuff, so I'm really excited right now. It quite simply never gets old walking in here. I always have to stop and take a minute when I come in, because look at it. It's just the best. Diagon Alley is home to one attraction, in addition to their half of the train, Harry Potter and the Escape from Gringotts. But there's a lot to do and see at Diagon Alley besides rides. They've got live entertainment like Celestina and the Tale of the Three Brothers. They've got so many good Harry Potter themed eats, not just butterbeer, but Florian Fortescue's ice cream, the Leaky Cauldron where you can get amazing fish and chips. You can go to Ollivander's wand shops. You can go to Madame Malkin's robes for all occasions. You can go to Fred and George Weasley's Wizard Wheezes, which is lovely and so much fun. You can go to Nocturnality where the senior wizards hang out. It's just, as a nerd, I love it in here. The amount of detail in here, the immersion in here, it's second to none. We, however, are headed to ride Harry Potter and the Escape from Gringotts, the main attraction here in Diagon Alley. This is a story that puts you into Gringotts Bank and sets you alongside Harry, Ron, and Hermione as they try to escape Bellatrix's vault. The coolest part of this attraction, though, is the queue. I mean, look at this. Walking into the Gringotts lobby takes my breath away every single time, and as you can see, going in through Express Pass does not take away your view at all. In fact, you get a better view because there's no one in the line with you in front of you if you want to take some cool pictures quickly while you're in here. I love looking at the goblins. Oh, it's just so cool. Now, this attraction has a 42-inch height requirement, and it is a part roller coaster, part 3D simulator. So it's a little bit of everything. However, even though it is part simulator, it doesn't make me very nauseous. I think it's because it's actually a moving track and you're moving through big practical sets. That's what helps me. But this is another really cool one for my Harry Potter fans. Again, it sets you inside Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows when Harry, Ron, and Hermione sneak in, while Harry is under the invisibility cloak. Ron is disguised as a Death Eater, and Hermione is disguised as Bellatrix, and they're trying to break the Horcrux out of Miss Lestrange's vault. The posted wait right now is 85 minutes, which is already significantly shorter than that over 200-minute wait it had when I got into the park today. But we've got the clock started to see how quickly we move through in Express. Well, it only took me about 3 minutes to get into the first pre-show, which is when theme parks often stop the clock, but we're going to keep it rolling. Also, right there, I just noticed something hilarious. If you look closely, you can see that on Bill Weasley, whose office we were in, on his table, he's got the picture of his family in Egypt from Prisoner of Azkaban when Mr. Weasley wins that prize money. It's the picture where Ron is holding Scabbers the rat, that Sirius Black is out, and that's how Sirius Black figures out that Scabbers, aka Peter Pettigrew, is at Hogwarts. But I digress. Two things about that picture. One, it's the only time Charlie Weasley is shown in the Harry Potter films. In the books, Charlie Weasley is another one of Ron's older brothers. He's the one that works with dragons. He shows up for the Triwizard Tournament, but he doesn't get any screen time other than that photo. But what also is interesting is that a different actor is portraying Bill Weasley in the photo than in the pre-show talking to you. Because in the photo, the actor playing Bill is named Richard Fish. But who plays Bill when we get more character development from Bill in the later movies is Domhnall Gleeson, who's also in the Star Wars saga. That's who you see in the pre-show and on the attraction, and who most people would think of as Bill Weasley. But isn't that wild that there's two different Bill Weasleys, like, feet away from each other? Got my 3D glasses. It has still been less than 10 minutes, and I've done both pre-shows, and now about to head up the spirally staircase to where you load. Harry Potter and the Escape from Gringotts ended up taking about 13 minutes to get through both pre-shows and to be boarding the vehicle. So much faster than 85 yet again. Pretty much all of them have been incredibly low compared to the posted wait, except for, of course, Velocicoaster, which had that little technical hiccup. Now I've almost hit my 3-hour mark, but let's do one more on the way out. Another fan favorite, still has a pretty long line. We're headed to go see the home of Academy Award winner Brendan Fraser. Shout out Brendan Fraser in the comments if you too cried when he accepted his Oscar, because that was the sweetest thing. Ugh, my heart. Let's also, as I walk over towards Revenge of the Mummy, which I am going to be blocked a little bit by the parade anyway, let's take a look at the wait times. It's like a little after 7:30. Doctor Doom's Fearfall 15, Fast and the Furious 35, Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure TM still 105, Forbidden Journey 45, Rip Ride Rocket 110, Velocicoaster 130, 60 over at the Mummy where we're headed, 55 at Incredible Hulk, 90 at Gringotts where we just came from, 70 at Reign of Kong, 50 at Spider-Man, a little bit less at the water rides, thank goodness, at this time of night. You've also got about a 25-minute at Race Through New York starring Jimmy Fallon, so 45 minutes at Minion Mayhem. Still some pretty long lines for being so late in the day. Making my way past the Mardi Gras parade, which is so fun. Alan and I did the bead throwing experience a couple weeks ago as part of Theme Park Bucket List. It was literally so much fun. You can go watch the video. Highly recommend. We've also got a whole video on Mardi Gras, which is Universal's big celebration that happens now through April. All kinds of entertainment and great food and drinks. It's a really fun time of year to visit this park. Revenge of the Mummy has a 48.48-inch height requirement, and it's part roller coaster, part dark ride. It is so much fun. It's based on the Brendan Fraser Mummy movies, and basically you're headed to the movie set of one of said Mummy movies, but everybody in the crew believes that the curse of Imhotep is real, except for Brendan Fraser. And when you ride, you find out who's right. It has been about 6 minutes and I'm already up on the second story, which is where the load platform is just ahead. 8 minutes and I'm in the row to load into the next vehicle. Got to put my camera and my phone up now because Universal doesn't allow recording on rides for safety, but 8 minutes, less than 60. That ride is just so fun. Absolutely my favorite ride in this park outside of Gringotts. It's just so well done. The effects are so cool. And also at the end when Brendan Fraser yells about wanting his cup of coffee, Universal social media is so good, and they tweeted after he won the Academy Award that he finally got his cup of coffee, and like, amazing. I don't pretend to be like the biggest Mummy fan or like a Brandon Fraser stan by any means, but just knowing what this man has been through and seeing him come back so strong, and also just he seems like in every interview and accepting his award, he seems like the nicest, most genuine human on the planet, and like I think he must be protected at all costs. All right, well, I did end up going a little bit, like 20-30 minutes over my initial 3-hour time by the time I factored in meandering the park and working through the crowds and everything. But in just over 3 hours, I rode 6 of the most popular attractions here at Universal Orlando. And on all of them, except for Jurassic World Velocicoaster, I didn't wait longer than 15 minutes. And I even think waiting the 40-ish minutes at Velocicoaster once you took out the technical difficulty and the ride itself, I don't think that's terrible considering it had a 120-minute wait when I walked in the line. Now, like I said, Universal Express Pass is very expensive if you buy it a la carte. You can save a little bit money on certain days when they offer the After 4 Express Pass, but that's only subject to availability. If you're coming during a busy time of year, you're gonna want to pull the trigger before you get here because 1, it can sell out, and 2, you've seen how busy it is. So you've got to plan the trip that works best for you and your family, and if the busiest times of year is the only time you can visit, hopefully this video helps show you what to expect as far as the crowds go, as far as the queues go. And do keep in mind, there are things to do at these parks that aren't just rides. There are characters to meet, there's great dining, there are fun resorts with fun pools, there are shows, live entertainment. There's a ton of great things to do at the Universal parks. But keep in mind that it's gonna take longer at dining locations, you're gonna have longer lines at shows, you're gonna have longer lines for characters. It's just gonna be busy, so you should know what to expect going in. Also, as a friendly reminder, during these busy times more than ever, please be kind to cast members at Disney and team members here at Universal. They are trying to get you through as quickly and efficiently as possible. They are trying to help a lot of people at one time, and they're also dealing with a lot of guests who are hot or tired or crabby because of the heat or because of how crowded it is or because of whatever reason. So just be extra nice to them, especially when it's so busy and they're doing their best to make sure everyone still has a great time. At the end of the day, it is a lot of money during peak season to purchase Express Pass, but it can help you get through these attractions much, much quicker than if you didn't have it. Now, obviously, that's going to be worth it to some people, not worth it to others. Truly, my best tip, no matter what time of year you come to Universal though, is to book one of those premier resorts and get that Express Pass included with the hotel that you're probably already paying for to stay somewhere and use it throughout your vacation. So we are going to do more Universal staycations. Let us know which of the premier resorts you want us to do first. Hard Rock, Portofino Bay, Royal Pacific, whichever one you want to see the most, put it down in the comments and we'll take a look at it when we are booking our next Universal staycation. Hopefully this video was helpful and fun to show you, one, what it looks like during a very busy time of year in the parks, as well as how to utilize that Express Pass. So just make sure you have expectations set when you come to the park, know what these lines are going to look like, know what these crowds are going to look like, prioritize your top favorite things in the park, and then everything else is just cherries on top. Hopefully this video is helpful. Hopefully you had fun coming to Universal with me today. I always have a great time coming to these parks, so let us know what other videos you want to see here at Universal. In the meantime, friends, make sure to rate, review, subscribe to our channel, follow us on social media, come join our Discord, and until next time, friends, I'm Molly, and it's been so magical. Now go watch the Secrets of Universal Orlando video. Bye!